What's going on, Jerome's? So Minnesota Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy and crooked Chicago Bears signal caller Caleb Williams will always be sort of tied together. You know, JJ McCarthy being from the Chicagoland area, as well as Caleb Williams with Kevin O'Connell. I want to be with you. I only want to be with you. Who also, you know, the revelations of Williams and his pops was trying to find their way to Minnesota. It didn't quite work out, but they're always going to be tied together. They're in the same division, in the same top 10 of the draft class. Williams at 1, McCarthy at 10. So it is what it is, right? Long story longer. Pete Schrager, now at ESPN, formerly NFL Network, frenemy of the Vikings. Like, sometimes he calls a spade, sometimes it's way on left field. But talking about who has more pressure to succeed this year, JJ McCarthy or Caleb Williams. Pete had an interesting take on it. This is what he said. I think there's more pressure for JJ McCarthy, the second-year quarterback, more pressure on him for success right away than there is on Caleb Williams, the former first overall pick in Chicago. We're focusing so much on Caleb this offseason. Wonder why. Also, the Bears back-to-back March champs. Cool. And we're just assuming that everything is fine in Minnesota, and because McCarthy and because O'Connell and Kwesi decide to put their faith in JJ McCarthy, that we know that this team is going to be just as good as they were a year ago. So there's a couple things. Number one, yes, the Vikings, I mean, they bet on JJ McCarthy, right? So they drafted him last year, highest drafted quarterback in team history. They traded up one spot to go get him. And I don't know why. I simply do not understand why the media is so shocked and flummoxed and flabbergasted. Like, they're betting everything on the quarterback that they drafted last year, as opposed to bringing back Darnold, as opposed to signing Aaron Rodgers, as opposed to drafting Shedeur Sanders. Oh, how dare they? Oh, the Vapors down in Savannah. Oh, there's been another murder. Oh, they're going with J.J. McCarthy. Shocker. Right? And the whole thing about it is, too, is like, that we know that this team is going to be just as good as they were a year ago. Vibes-wise, I feel like there's zero pressure to have 14-plus wins, as same as last year. I mean, the over-under for the Vikings 8.5. There isn't any national media Jerome haircut coming out here saying, like, well, if they don't have more than 14 wins, it's a failure, and they should have kept Sam Darnold. I just don't get that vibe, right? And Darnold last year obviously had success, but then in the last 2 games of the season, he turned into Ginger Jameis, which, yeah. And Caleb, 5-12, put up some decent numbers, didn't throw for 4,000 yards, as we know that as the Bears quarterback, but I feel like there is infinitely more pressure on Caleb Williams, right? Pun intended, right here, because I mean, the Bears went all in around Caleb Williams, trying to revamp their offensive line and go from there. But the thing about it is that Caleb needs to be that dude. He needs to be nearly perfect. He needs to play lights out for the Bears to even have a chance to sniff the playoffs. For the Vikings, JJ McCarthy, and this roster has been so well constructed by Kwesi, is that, hey, JJ McCarthy doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. He can distribute the football. He can be a game manager adjacent. He can play like Bo Nix last year. And the Vikings will have double-digit wins. They'll make some noise in the NFC and go from there, right? So I think obviously there is infinitely more pressure on Caleb Williams. That's what happens when you're the number 1 overall pick as well, and you're seen as this generational prospect. I mean, a lot of people weren't even hyped up about J.J. McCarthy. Oh, he's a game manager, even though they won national championship in Michigan. He didn't throw any touchdowns in the national title game. That's exactly it. And JJ has a way better supporting cast, way better coaching. I don't care about the whole Ben Johnson thing. So, no, there's way more pressure on Caleb Williams this season. And JJ, I mean, yeah, the Vikings are in a 3-year Super Bowl window. But as I said before, it just doesn't seem like there's that intense pressure, whether from media or even fans, be like, well, we have to improve on 14 wins, otherwise this year is a failure. No, honestly, McCarthy and the Vikings could go 11-6, 12-5, and that might be good enough to win the division because we don't play the AFC South this year. And then that would be deemed a success, even though it's lower number of wins, and especially if and when the Vikings make noise in the playoffs, make a Super Bowl run. Obviously, that's way more successful than last year. But no, like Caleb, we'll see in a couple years, buddy. You can come in and back up J.J. McCarthy. Sorry, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Super Bowl champion quarterback J.J. McCarthy. We need a quarterback too. How you do? Right, but no, there's tons more pressure on Caleb Williams this year. I mean, this year could be it, especially since what you saw what Jaden Daniels did as a number 2 overall pick in Washington last year. I feel like Caleb has to transcend and rise above that. I don't know if he's going to do it. All right, and JJ just needs to. All right, so basically, Caleb Williams needs to be an F1 driver taking all those hairpin turns. JJ McCarthy is in the family Chevy Malibu. Hands at 10 and 2, actually probably the Volvo, right? That's all he needs to do. Just keep the car on the frickin' road, where Caleb needs to be burning the tires and lighting the fires. All right, so way more pressure on Caleb Williams. I think Pete Schrager is incorrect in this assessment, and JJ McCarthy can just go out and be JJ McCarthy. And guess what? Once he develops into that dude, it's a formidable combination, and he will with Kevin O'Connell. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Who's under more pressure to perform in 2025 among second-year quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy or Caleb Williams? Pete's wrong. Just wrong. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol, production value.